It's the last day of the year 2020. Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6 with me, Manuel Cranting.
Amina of the Apostolic Church, and I wish everyone in this nation a Merry Christmas and a very prosperous 2021. God bless you.
The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. It's also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across Ghana, including Gaskia FM in Techiman and worldwide at myjoyonline.com. Coming up in this edition, I am in court to remove doubts surrounding the outcome of the December 7 general elections. Former President Mahama justifies decision not to concede defeat after the polls.
Some people have asked me what I hope to gain by challenging the results of this election. Let me tell you, I want perhaps the very same thing that my opponent wanted when in 2012 he challenged the results of that election. I want the removal of doubt.
We have more. Meanwhile, the governing NPP says its presidential candidate's legal team is battle ready and will show that Mr. Mahama was credited with more votes than he actually got.
And we will prove that in court, that even John Mahama did not receive the number of votes that has been credited to him. And we're going to show that in the course of the trial.
And also in this bulletin, 11 civil society organizations demand arrest and prosecution of persons responsible for the death of at least 5 people during the December 7 general elections. And in business
environment to remain largely same come next year as government policy will not change much. We'll hear from an economist at 6:15.
And later in the bulletin, cross-section of Ghanaians plead for an extension of government's COVID-19 package of free water for homes. All of these and more in this edition. Do stay with us.
I just fetched it free and I'm using it and then everything is cool. So I think it's supposed to stay. They don't have to cut it out. We beg them.
The free water policy has helped us a lot, especially we the aged.
Well, let's settle now for the details. And former President John Mahama says he's in court to remove doubts surrounding the conduct and outcome of the December 7 general elections. For him, he cannot settle for an electoral process that leaves a section of Ghanaians confused with many unanswered questions. Lawyers for the former president yesterday filed a petition to challenge the presidential results of the just-ended 2020 general elections. According to the writ, the presidential result declared by the Electoral Commission chairperson Jean Mensah was flawed and doesn't represent the will of the people. They are praying the apex court to declare the results null and void and order a rerun of the election. Addressing the nation last night, the former president counted on the independence of the judiciary to do a just job.
Some people have asked me what I hope to gain by challenging the results of this election. Let me tell you, I want perhaps the very same thing that my opponent wanted when in 2012 he challenged the results of that election. I want the removal of doubt. I want for all of us to know that our elections should be free, fair, and safe, and that we do not have to settle for a process that leaves us confused and with more questions than answers. I want a Ghana where institutions of state can be held to account, where we can stand on principle and demand transparency without the risk of losing our lives. When people lose their lives, as 7 people have done in the course of our elections, we're moving backwards, not forward. We're unraveling the very fabric of our democracy. We're risking the loss of 3 decades worth of progress.
Joined in the suit as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and President Akufo-Addo, the former president said failure of the electoral body to act in accordance with the constitution left him with no option than to seek redress in apex court.
We must continue to be a nation in which our young citizens have faith in our institutions, trust the rule of law, and rely on the presence of peace because there's justice. Ghana must be a country where we citizens know and believe without any doubt whatsoever that the way forward is determined by the will of the Ghanaian people, and that we can hold our institutions of state accountable and guarantee that they work in the favor of the national interest and not in the interest of the administration or the person in power. I've been compelled to do this because of her clear failure to act in accordance with our constitution.
Former President John Mahama there to the camp of the NPP now because it says it has evidence that flag bearer of the NDC in the last elections, John Mahama, was given more votes than he got in the polls. John Mahama yesterday filed a petition to challenge the presidential results of the just-ended 2020 general elections as declared by the Electoral Commission. Now, according to the writ, the presidential result as declared by the Electoral Commission chairperson is flawed and doesn't represent the will of the people. Well, they are praying the apex court to declare the results null and void. But campaign manager for the NPP, Peter McMahon, who says the party will also challenge the figures awarded the NDC's candidate in election.
We also believe, and we will prove that in court, that even John Mahama did not receive the number of votes that has been credited to him. And we're going to show that in the course of the trial. Mahama and his team have lost an election, and they want to tell their followers that they didn't lose the election, so they want to carry them with them to wherever they want to take them to. But the issue is, when we get to the court, it is facts and figures that are going to speak for us. And we have the facts and figures and the law itself to support whatever we'll be putting across. So we are not afraid and we are not scared of Mahama's petition at all.
Campaign manager for the NPP, Peter McMahon. Now, 11 civil society organizations have in a statement urged the judiciary to assure that the public of how it intends to resolve all election-related disputes in a fair manner. Court correspondent Joseph Akable joins me with more on this. Now, Joseph, which CSOs have put together the statement and explain to us why the call for the judiciary to assure the public?
There is the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC, Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Media Foundation for West Africa, ACT Foundation, Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, and the Ghana Integrity Initiative, among others. And the part of the statement that relates to the judiciary says, in view of the role of the judiciary in securing justice as a critical foundation for law and order, we call upon the judiciary to assure the public of how the processes laid out to deal with the election-related cases are fair, open, and can be trusted to deliver justice impartially, professionally, and with integrity, so as to protect the long-term stability of our democracy.
Well, we understand they want the arrest and prosecution of persons responsible for electoral violence that resulted in deaths also.
The statement reads, we note further with regret that the police have not sufficiently evoked the public confidence in their handling of the violent acts that occurred during the 2020 voter registration exercise and general elections. We commend the police for their arrest, prosecution, and jailing of the Senate West ballot box snatcher. However, we consider it unsatisfactory that in spite of the president's stated commitment to maintaining a party-blind eye regarding election violence, so few arrests and prosecutions have followed the violence in both exercises, and that the losses of life have not been accounted for. It is of concern to us that the public has not been updated on the progress in the police investigation into these incidents.
Court correspondent Joseph Akable there. Now to the Ashanti region, because police there have announced gunning down 2 people they suspected were armed robbers, and the police say the men engaged officers in a shootout. The suspected armed robbers, numbering about 4, had allegedly embarked on a robbery expedition at Santase, Kejase, Otin Kwanta and its environs. Now, police say the robbers succeeded in robbing occupants of about 5 houses of their monies, mobile phones, laptop computers, and other personal effects. Now, police public relations officer for the region, ASP Godwin Ahianyo, wants medical facilities in the region to help identify the wounded suspects who may visit their facilities.
The Ashanti Regional Police Patrol Team, today 30th December 2020, engaged some suspected armed robbers in a shootout, leading to the death of 2 of them. The suspected armed robbers, numbering about 4, had embarked on a robbery expedition at Santasi Kejasi, Otin Kwanta, and its environs, where they succeeded in robbing occupants of about 5 houses of their mobile phones, monies, laptops, and other personal effects.
Ashanti Regional Police PRO ASP Godwin Ahianyo there. Now, Ghanaians will from today no longer enjoy the free water services following President Akufo-Addo's directive to the Ghana Water Company Limited. The social intervention was to cushion the public against the impact of COVID-19. As this intervention comes to an end, some citizens in the national capital have been reacting. Joy News' Annabella Ohinijan has more in the following report.
Government will absorb the water bills for all Ghanaians for the next 3 months.
President Akufo-Addo announcing that government will absorb water bills for Ghanaians from May to June 2020. It was part of COVID-19 relief for the people. The intervention was then extended until 31st December 2020. As the program comes to an end, the responses from water consumers have been varied here in the capital.
Western Crown is it free and I'm using it and then everything is cool. So I think it's supposed to stay. They don't have to cut it out. We beg them.
It has helped us in so many ways. Personally, I'm able to bathe with 2 or 3 buckets of water now. The free water policy has helped us a lot, especially we the aged. The government has done well, but I was hoping they would end it after the new year.
And that's it for the end of year edition of Joy News at 6 with me, Monor Kranting. Our top story this hour: I am in court to remove doubts surrounding the outcome of the December 7 general elections. Former President Mahama justified